Hi everyone, delighted to be here. Thanks for the time. I'm one of the people who helped to create an organisation Leeds called Our Future Leeds, and we've over the last 18 months been creating a citizen-led response to the climate emergency, and we helped to submit an application to the National Lottery, and we won. So I've got a short PowerPoint presentation I'd like to talk through with you, because this is a really big deal for Leeds, and we
It's
absolutely
huge.
want to put Leeds City Council and officers and elected members at the heart of what we're doing. It's about 2 hours long. I'll take about 10 minutes, yeah, and then we'll have some questions.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. It's not a lecture, or yeah, not an online lecture. So here we are, the climate emergency
Are you
community
sure?
action. Yeah, promise you, community action program. So that's our working title. We'll get a better title as we start this. So there's what is this, and what does it mean for us and you? It's major news for Leeds. We won. We applied to the National Lottery's Climate Action Programme. There were several hundred initial expressions of interest, got down to 60. We got down to the last 5. And they funded about a dozen projects of various sizes. We were one of, I think, 2 or 3 which were funded at this incredible level of £2.5 million. So we've just brought £2.5 million to the City of Leeds over the next 5 years. We're absolutely delighted to have done this, and we spent the almost entirety of the pre and just after lockdown period writing this 90-page application, which I do want to send to all your committee members. So I'll send that via Harriet so you can have a look at the detailed application, because there's a heck of a lot of detail here, and I certainly don't want to take time off of this committee meeting. So there's 5 lead partners, which I'm going to mention, for over 4 work packages, but there's 40 new posts here. There's going to be a heck of a lot of people working on this across the city. Across when we're fully up and running, 16 community hubs, dispensing £400,000 of direct community grants to tackle what we call the climate and social justice emergencies, yeah? And it's all based around what we're calling this Leeds Climate Round Table, which we want to create and get everyone involved in. So it's based on Leeds' strengths, because obviously we're walking on the shoulders of giants here. There's a huge amount of stuff happening right over our city. And I won't go into, there's a snapshot there of the amazing stuff happening. And why we're doing this, many of the things why this committee exists is exactly why we're doing this, yeah? Everything from Youth Strike to Greta Thunberg to the scientific reports behind the COP15 and the IPCC reports, Extinction Rebellion, but also the declarations by local authorities, which have been cascading across the world, right? With 2/3 of local authorities now in the UK declaring climate emergencies. A really exciting period to be in. So look, we've got 5 lead partners, 1 not appointed at the moment. So Voluntary Action Leeds is our local trusted partner. So they were the main applicants. So we're really privileged to have Voluntary Action Leeds in our city, right, who can lead these kinds of bids. Leeds Tidal, they're running a big work package, but Leeds Tidal, if you don't know them, they really specialise on, they stand for Trading, Justice and Development at Leeds. They really focus on issues of global justice and social justice. Really great stuff they're doing. And Together for Peace, you might know them from things like the Poverty Truth Commission, and ourselves, Our Future Leeds, who's a citizens network. And the coming soon one is we're going to commission somebody to run the learning work package, yeah, which we're now up and running. So we've just started in September. So literally the 5 years has just started now. But we've got a huge support base. Here's, you know, a snapshot almost of our broader support case, people who supported and helped develop our application. Because as you know, in Leeds, we've got a massive support base of social, environmental and community-based groups who are doing amazing stuff, transforming the city across the research, business, community and public sectors. So look, our approach, it's science informed. We know this is a climate emergency. We don't have to go into it too much, but we know there's a 10, 12-year challenge. We must get to some kind of zero carbon balance by the 2030s to hold global temperatures to no more than 1.5 degrees, right, of global warming above pre-industrial level. That's a massive task, and to do it in a socially just way through climate justice, right, ensuring equality for all. So this is a mammoth task. We know our carbon budget as a city, right? We know it's 40 million tonnes. We know we're eating it into it at a rate of 4 million tonnes a year. We know that our budget will be spent in the next 7 or 8 years if we don't take emergency action, right? So this is why your committee exists, because we need to create a new reason for Leeds to exist, a new development model we can all get behind to give us a safe and just future. A lot of this is about building power back in communities who feel very disempowered with many things, and engaging from where they are right now. But a lot of it's going to be about testing and learning. What solutions do we need to make this humongous turn of events? None of us know exactly how we'll be doing it. So there's a real test and learn project. And there's a movement building aspect here that we need to mobilize the city. There's 700,000 people in this city mobilized behind this agenda. And we want to really try to embed with you some deeper levels of democracy and understanding. Some of the stuff we did in the climate jury, right? In terms of how do we mobilize a large city behind this? Transformative, and I must stress transformative and not piecemeal action, because piecemeal action won't get us over the hurdle over the next dozen years. I'm not going to speak to this slide, but just so you know, we've done some thinking, and there's 5 work packages. You see WP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all have different aims and different outcomes. But the big goal at the top, look, we want to create a really connected, informed city based around these community. Our bud is based around creating these community hubs, right? Which can take effective action, support communities to take effective action on the climate emergency to create a more just, fair and green Leeds by the 2030s. And we want these community hubs to be really well networked and supported. And they all kind of create their own individual community action plans in their own right, which join together to create a bigger city plan. Yeah, that is our aim. Cross-sector, community embedded, and it speaks to the evidence agenda. It all fits together in a perfect way, or at least to start with. And so we all play all the different work packages I've mentioned play different roles, and you can read much more about this in the full application. I'm really happy to talk to groups of you together, individuals. What might this mean for your patch at different times? So you can certainly just drop me an email, and I'll certainly be delighted to talk to you all. Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of ways this works, but the essential parts of it, there's a big package on training. So we're developing a training capacity to kind of co-learn on the climate emergency. We're developing these community hubs, how people can get involved on their patch, and we're going to have a big city centre hub, right, which is almost kind of the mothership, which is going to develop the resources down there. And then we're going to create this kind of city climate justice plan. And all this comes together in what we call the city round table, yeah, where different sectors can come together and meet and share, right, across all this. And then we're going to have a partnership board, a climate assembly, round table, as I mentioned. We're going to have a scrutiny panel. So there's lots going on, lots of eyes on this, lots of discussion, lots of building in democracy, yeah. I'm not going to go, so what we want to achieve in 5 years, certainly, you know, the headline is zero carbon, socially just livable Leeds, yeah, well-connected citizenry. Active communities that can really take on this change agenda, yeah, and a really working partnership, and hoping, replicating, sharing, learning right across Leeds, West Yorkshire, you name it. There's some more detail on the work package here, which I'm not going to go into, but just, you know, for the headlines, work package 1's Voluntary Action Leeds, work package 2 is Our Future Leeds, work package 3 is Together for Peace, work package 4 is Tidal. What they're going to do is interesting, because they're going to work with community, so with campaign and sector groups, so be it housing, energy, finance, you name it. They're going to start to build capacity in those areas and get them out to communities and vice versa, yeah. So that's going to be a really important aspect of it, and evaluation to be appointed. So look, that's it. So that's a whistle-stop tour through 90-page application and 5-year program of work. But we want you to know about it from day one, because you're essential to our success. So over to you, Chair, for questions and comments.